They say fear is a natural part of being human, a primal instinct. But what if I told you that fear, as we often experience it, is actually a prison? A cage built not by the world around us, but by our own minds. This isn't just a modern self-help idea. It's an ancient wisdom forged in the crucible of the Roman Empire. The great Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius, faced unimaginable pressures. He dealt with war, plague, betrayal, and the immense responsibility of ruling one of the largest empires in history. Yet, in the quiet moments of his campaign tent, he wrote in his private journal, which we now know as Meditations. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Think about that for a second. The source of our distress isn't the looming deadline, the uncertain job market, or the difficult conversation we have to have. It's our judgment about those things. It's the story we tell ourselves. The Stoics understood a profound truth. Fear does not spring from events, it springs from the mind. And if the mind is the architect of fear, then the mind can also be its conqueror. Today we're going to explore the Stoic way to master fear. This isn't about ignoring danger or pretending to be fearless. It's about developing an inner fortress, a citadel of the mind that can withstand any storm. This is the path to true freedom. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most crucial step. Control what you can. Take a moment and think about the things you fear. You might fear losing your job, getting sick, a relationship ending, or even public speaking. Now ask yourself, how much of that is truly within my direct control? The economy might tank, a virus might spread, another person might choose to leave, an audience might be unreceptive. Most of what we fear lies firmly outside our sphere of influence. Death, accidents, betrayal, loss. The Stoics considered these part of fate, the natural unfolding order of the universe. Wasting mental and emotional energy worrying about these things is like shouting at the rain to stop. It's futile and exhausting. The Stoics taught a radical alternative. Focus only on what is in your hands. And what is that? Your thoughts, your judgments, your choices, your actions, your response to events. That's it. This is your domain, your kingdom. Imagine you have a big presentation at work. You can't control if your boss will like it, if a colleague will try to undermine you, or if the projector will suddenly fail. Fretting over those possibilities only creates anxiety. Instead, focus on what you can control, how thoroughly you prepare, how well you practice your delivery, the integrity of your research, and the mindset you bring into the room. You can choose to be prepared, to be honest, and to act with courage. What you cannot control, let it go. Release your grip. What you can control, rule it with discipline and virtue. This isn't about apathy. It's about strategic allocation of your most precious resource, your attention. By focusing your energy on your own actions, you move from a state of passive worry to one of active empowerment. This is the first key to unlocking the prison of fear. Now this leads us directly to the second principle. Accept what you cannot escape. This might sound passive, but it's actually an act of immense strength. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who was born a slave and later became a respected teacher, put it this way: "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do." This is the concept of amor fati, a love of fate. It's not about resignation or defeat. It's about embracing reality as it is, not as you wish it were. When you stop fighting against the current of life, when you stop resisting the inevitable, fear begins to lose its power over you. Why? Because fear thrives on the gap between our expectations and reality. When we expect life to be smooth and painless, every bump in the road becomes a source of terror. But if we accept that challenges, setbacks, and even pain are part of the deal, their arrival is no longer a catastrophe. They are simply part of the journey. Death, pain, loss, these are not tragedies to the Stoic. They are natural processes, as much a part of life as birth and growth. To fear them is to fear the very nature of existence. It's like a tree fearing the winter. The winter is coming, regardless. The wise tree doesn't waste its energy fearing the cold. It focuses on strengthening its roots. Accepting what you cannot change doesn't mean you don't grieve or feel sadness. The Stoics were not unfeeling robots. It means you don't add a layer of fearful resistance on top of the pain. You feel the loss, but you don't let the fear of loss paralyze you. You experience the setback, but you don't let the fear of failure prevent you from trying again. By accepting reality, you align yourself with it. And in that alignment, you find a profound sense of peace and resilience. Fear cannot find a foothold in a mind that has made peace with reality. With our focus narrowed to what we control and our acceptance of what we don't, we arrive at the third step, the one that translates this philosophy into action. Act with reason, not emotion. Fear is a powerful, primal force. In a genuine life or death situation, it can be a useful servant, flooding our bodies with adrenaline to fight or flee. But in modern life, fear often becomes a terrible master. It makes us irrational. It whispers worst-case scenarios in our ear until we're paralyzed. It clouds our judgment, making us see threats where there are none. It blinds the powerful and immobilizes the weak. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire under constant threat from internal politics and external enemies, knew this all too well. He couldn't afford to be ruled by fear. He needed clarity. He reminded himself daily with simple, powerful rules for living. One of his guiding principles was, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This is the discipline of reason. It's about creating a space between a stimulus, the fearful event, and your response. In that space, you can ask questions. Is this fear based on reality or on my interpretation? What is the most rational course of action here? What would be the virtuous thing to do? This discipline allowed him to lead with a steady hand. Where others in his court might panic over a rumor of rebellion, he would seek facts. Where others might freeze in the face of a military defeat, he would analyze the strategy and plan the next move. He didn't let emotion dictate his actions. He let reason guide them. When you feel fear rising, pause, breathe, engage your rational mind. Break the problem down. What are the facts? What are my options? What is the next right step, however small? This practice transforms you from a passenger on a roller coaster of emotion into the driver of your own life. Where others panic, you will remain calm. Where others freeze, you will act with purpose. Fear is a shadow. It looms large and terrifying in the dark, but when you turn on the light of reason and walk towards it, you often find it has no substance. It looks larger than it is, until you face it. So let's bring it all together. The Stoic path to conquering fear is a threefold practice. First, control what you can. Pour all your energy into your own choices, actions, and responses. This is your power. Second, accept what you cannot. Embrace reality, with all its challenges and uncertainties, as part of the natural order. This is your peace. And third, act always with reason. Let logic and virtue be your guides, not the fleeting and often misleading grip of emotion. This is your strength. Do this, and fear loses its chains. The prison doors swing open, you walk free, and that freedom, the freedom from internal turmoil, the freedom to act with courage and clarity, is the true power the Stoics sought. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, the mind creates fear, and the mind can destroy it. The power has been within you all along. Now, I want to hear from you. This is a journey we are all on. What fear have you faced in your life, and how did you overcome it? Maybe you used a Stoic principle without even knowing it. Share your story in the comments below. Your words, your experience, might be the light someone else needs to help them break free from their own shadow. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this timeless wisdom. If you found value in this, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content on philosophy for modern life. Stay strong and be well.